Okay, hello everyone. So for my last Valentine's Day card, happy Valentine's Day by the way everyone, I wanted to do something that I saw on Pinterest, and it's a woven heart card. Now I did change it up a little bit. It comes with, let's see, I hope you can see. Oh, maybe you can't see. This, can you see that? I'm hoping. Oops, sorry. My shirt got in the way. Okay, there's this square with lines on it and a pattern of a heart. And then there's a square up here, I cut it off, and then a square down here. And the object of this is that this square folds up under the heart, and then this would be the top fold of the card. Okay, so I just printed this off on my printer from the pinned site. Yeah. And then followed the directions on there, but I did, like I said, I decided instead of making this a card, I would put it on a regular card base, so I'm really just only using this square image here, but I am using at least one of the other squares to cover up the back, so I, have the option of popping it up if I so choose. So I saved some time that, and I was playing around. I went ahead and sliced all the lines. I'm really hoping you can see this. I will put a link down to the pin so that you can see what I'm talking about. You just start on the outside line, so you start over here, and you go all the way across and you just do the horizontal ones. The other lines are to show you where the heart starts to curve, and then it's just the box around it. So I went ahead and did all that. Now it says to cut out 14 5mm strips. Now I'm not the best when it comes to measuring, so that's why if you've noticed in my videos I don't always say what size anything is. I just kind of eyeball it, and most of the time I have everything prepped ahead of time, so even if I did measure it, I don't even think to write it down. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights back on so you can see, hopefully. I do apologize if it is dark or too bright and you guys can't see it. I don't have horrible lighting, but it's hard to show something when it's such a light black ink and white paper. Anyways, so these are the sizes that I ended up using. I liked them the best, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the weaving process using these bigger ones, just so that these are the ones I planned to start out with, and then they were too big. But these ones work perfectly. I just needed a ton of them. So like I said, I just kind of eyeballed it until I got the size that I wanted. So I'm going to use these to show you the weaving process. I'm only going to do a couple of rows, and then move on. So after you have, you're either going to want to print this out, on printer paper or on your cardstock. But I recommend that if you do it on your cardstock, that you flip it over. Otherwise, you're going to have all of these lines showing. So I'm not exactly sure how that would work. But I did this on printer paper, and then I just used my Tombow removable adhesive, and then just tack down all along the sides. Don't tack down these, because you're gonna, if you tack this onto paper, you're gonna want to be able to remove it. Otherwise, you're gonna see all those lines. So I tacked it all the way around, and then just to hold the rest of the paper in place. So how you would do it on a cardstock, I didn't know. I didn't want to waste my cardstock to find out that I really couldn't do this, or that it didn't work because I couldn't flip it over. So If you have if you have a huge enough piece of scrap cardstock, use that first, that sort of thing. So, okay, so like I said, I went ahead and I cut them all apart and I cut my strips. So, following her directions and the pictures that she had on her website, or he, I'm not sure, this is the top of the heart right here. So you're going to want to start from the back, always start from the back, and go in 2, and then cover 3, and then go back under. So this is where the heart starts to curve. Let's see, I'll do, so like right here is where the heart starts to curve. Let's see if this works. Let me highlight all these for you, where the heart takes shape. I'm only going to do the horizontal lines. Okay, now if you can see this, okay, there's 2 little boxes right here. Whoops, I guess my pin is, and that would be where the white, the glare on the heart would be. We're not going to worry about that right now, just because these strips are just way too big, and it would look off. But you can see, well, maybe not. There you go. You can kind of see it taking shape. So basically, you're just covering up where there isn't lines. So you'd go underneath. You'd go under 2, over 3, under 5, over 3, and then back under the 2. And then you want to kind of push them up as high as they'll go. Wow, now with these pin marks it looks like a face with evil eyes. So that's, let's see, there you go. So that's how it starts out. And then, so each of these lines is basically where the next paper should line up. Now obviously these are thicker than what she recommended, so they're not going to line up exactly. Oops, this one didn't quite go through. That's okay. So then you're going to, for the top, working your way down, or even if you want to work from the bottom up, it's totally up to you. You're just going to come out 1, so you're going to under 1, over 4, no, excuse me, under 5, over, okay, under, for the second row, it's going to be under 1, over 5, under 3, oh no, okay, there we go, and then over 5 again, and under 1. I played with this thing all day just so that I knew what the heck I was doing, and it's still not working out right. There we go, I didn't cut that one all the way through. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a different color here. And then so for the next row, you're covering them, you're going under none, because you don't want to count this outside edge as 1. And then under 1, and then cover all and under none. So now, right here, as you can see, all of my paper is going all over the place. I took a piece of Post-it and I just stuck it to the piece of cardstock, just like that, to hold it in place. And then as I got to the next row, butting them up against each other. I didn't. You can have the gaps in there if you want, but I didn't like that. So, and then I just keep moving the Post-it down until I run out of Post-it, and then I get another piece to hold it in place. So this would be about where I would stop with this piece of Post-it. But because these are attached, you can attach this way. You want to keep it attached somehow to the original piece of paper. Okay, so let's do one more. So under under none, over all. Oh. There we go. And right. So I'm going to put this off to the side here and grab another piece so I don't have to worry about it sneaking away. So now as you can see, start to see it, okay, here this looks like two mountains. Let's do one more piece then. I want it to look more like a heart shape, not mountains. Okay, so I use this one all the way down. And eventually you won't have to hold up here. You just need to keep them steady. Now if you were going to do the little glare, this is where you would do it. We're just going to do the one glare because, like I said, these strips are way bigger. So you just continue to go over until you got to the length that you wanted. And it really just depends on the size of your strips as to how many you use and how many rows you have going straight across. That sort of thing. So, oops, all of my stuff shifted because I didn't put down another Post-it. I really like Post-it. I really like these. So see, that would be where the glare is, and then the next one would be shifted over one. So as you can see now, it's starting to look a little more, oops, well, you would be able to see if I get the Post-its out of the way. It's starting to look a little more heart-shaped. So to save time and to make sure I got it right, I went ahead and did the one that I'm going to use. I just used all one color. But now you can really see the heart. And then the little glares right there. Now I'm trying to keep my paper as flat as possible, but it doesn't seem to want to go very flat. Okay, so I took my Post-its and ran it down, my little sticky Post-it things, this, and ran it down the side right on the edge to hold the strips in place on both sides. So I could then flip it over and tape down all the little individual pieces along with the paper sticking out. But you do have to glue them down because, like these bottom ones, this is the only spot that they're being held in. So you're going to want to go ahead and glue them down. So I already did this side. So now, let's see, okay, I'll do it this way. So I just took it with my little Post-it attached, kind of as far over as it could fold. Okay, and I took my Tombow Mono and put just, now, let's see. Because the bottom doesn't go underneath, it will pull up, so I would put it not like middle of this right here. So that way if it oozes over, it hopefully will, you can ooze it so that it comes out this direction. And then I put a little piece of scratch paper down on the bottom and one on the top. And then I'll take my bone folder and really squish those down. So now if you've used Tombow before, it doesn't take very long at all to dry. But now, as you can see on this side, oops, well, since I removed this piece, everything is glued down. And we're going to be trimming all this off anyway, so it doesn't matter if a little glue gets on this side. Same thing. Okay, so now this one, now she used all these little end pieces as confetti, but since my cards aren't going anywhere at the moment, I'm not worried about it. Now, ideally, I would like this to be a lot smoother, but because I have my template on here, I need to get rid of that. Ouch, I just stabbed myself. So, I'm going to take my template and I'm going to cut at a diagonal. Oops, not too far in. I think I may have just done that too far in. and cut at a diagonal. There we go. So that I can, oh, and then I want to cut these loose. Now, as long as I'm not tearing, you know, the original, we're good. So that's why I'm using my craft knife and then waiting to see. And that's where I get stuck. So we're going to come from the other side. There we go. Okay, and you can also do it as long as you don't cut the card itself, which I may have already done so, because I am genius. Oh, you're also going to want to make sure, I hope I'm still on screen, sorry guys, you're also going to want to make sure that you trim right along this line as well, very carefully so as not to cut your card or the colored paper, and then just peel them up. Now this is if you choose to go this route, and that's what I chose to do. Okay, so now they're all loose, so I should, theory, be able to pull this up. Okay, get rid of that one because you don't need it. And then take this one, and once the tape part is up, it should just pull out. There we go. So just work at it very, very slowly. You know, you want to get the papers out. If they rip underneath, that's one thing. You just don't want them showing. There we go. Oop, I did. That's okay. That's okay. It can be fixed. Okay. Now I've got a little bit, where did my pencil go? There it is. So I've got just a little bit of adhesive on this side, which is just fine. I can just, well, normally I can just erase it off. I'm going to have to get one of those adhesive removers, because this doesn't seem to want to do anything. Okay. So now that we've gotten that off, I've made a little pencil line here as to where I want to cut. So I can put my back panel on to hold everything down. So we're just going to do this the easy way. And hopefully all in camera. Close enough, right? Okay, first, since it's not fitting, we're going to take our scissors, here they are, and we're going to trim off all these little pieces. Okay, throw these away because I don't plan to use them. And this is kind of where we hope that, you know, we put the glues in the right spot, and tape in the right spot. And I think I know what I'm going to do around the heart. I think. That's just too dark a pink. I think we're going to take the other template. Okay, we'll continue with that. This is just coming to mind, so bear with me here. I think we're going to take the template and we are going to find our X-Acto knife. We're going to cut out all of these. I don't plan to reuse this template, and I saved it in case I decide to make this card again. Probably not. This is a fun card, don't get me wrong, so far. Obviously I'm not done yet, but I don't always have the patience to deal with stuff like that. So we're going to trim out all of these pieces, maybe. Oh, I never fully got that one done. And it doesn't have to be perfect at this point because I'm kind of winging it here, right? And then we'll just take our scissors and cut this out. I'm also trying to get this card done before hubby comes home, so I'm not interrupted. It's not very often I get a chance to do a live card in a long period of time. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to find... I think we're going to go ahead and keep it white. I just need to find, hopefully, a big enough piece. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to take the removable adhesive again so that we can... I don't use this very often, I have to remember. So that we can tack it down. And then we're going to cut out a white border so that way it can go around where I goofed. So we're going to start with the inside. And normally when I do something like this, I prefer to have a much thicker paper so that my craft knife can run right over it, but since I didn't think about this, oops. Alright, let's try this way. Let's see if we can fix our little overage there. Yep, there we go. Oh, I did forget to mention that if you do put the template on cardstock, you're going to want to go over it 2 or 3 times and flip your page over to make sure that you have dang it, I did it again. That you have cut all the way through. And I think I just heard hubby. And that's okay. I'm going to put a note on the door. Okay, so, oops, see? Gotta go over it again, pull it out, there we go. And then we can just take the scissors and, sorry about that, cut right up. If there's a black, you know, I've left a black line, so I'm going to cut right on that black line. I also locked the door so he couldn't come in. And I'm not worried about this being perfectly straight. It'd be nice. Or a thick border, just enough. Now very carefully peeling this off. I'm really loving this removable adhesive. Makes life so much easier. So much easier. Clean that up. And then we have covered up the goof, and I think it still looks pretty cool. So now we're going to take some of, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a cat right out of my outside my window and meowing its head off. It startled me. I thought it was in my house. We don't have cats. Now we're just going to use the ATG to stick it down. Oops. Missed a spot. Wow. Again, not going for perfect. This is just going to sit in my room. But I do at least want all the adhesive on the inside. I always expect to hear a frog, so I think I have one living outside just outside my house, but I don't always expect to hear a cat. Anyways, so there we go. Oh, too high, no, no. I goofed. I can fix this goof though. Ha 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 ha. See? All this stuff happens on camera, right? That's okay. Very carefully. Oh, this corner doesn't want to give. Thank you. Okay. Little bit of a goof. That's okay. There we go. Let's make sure that we're not only lined up underneath, but alongside as well. Okay. Whew. And then we can just carefully shave that off. Not a huge deal. I can put a gem there, right? So, now we have a heart in a cute little frame. An unintentional frame. So now we're just going to go ahead and trim this down, and we're actually going to use a paper trimmer to get this trimmed up, because I want to trim around the edges as well. So we're just going to hack off the bottom here, just a bit. Okay, and we're going to line this up as straight as we can. There we go. Same thing with this. Oops. That's too much. There we go. Oh, this side's a little bit tougher. More to go through, right? And then we will take this and trim this side down as well. Although this side just needed just a little bit. And we're going to take the biggest piece so that it can go over, but we are going to trim this down so it's a little bit smaller than the background. Just a bit. That, let's see, I think if we make it 3 by 3 it should be plenty small. Let's see. Oops, maybe I have that wrong way. There we go. Perfect. Now, I do have a lot of tape on the back, so I'm actually going to very carefully peel up a couple of the pieces. Actually, let's do the pieces on the end, because those pieces are all glued down, but it will allow for just a little bit of the, there we go, the heart pieces themselves. Now, I didn't think about this when I taped them all down. I was just wanting to make sure I got them all secure. There we go. That'll be just fine. So we're just going to take the Tombow and run it right along the edge. And, oops. piece. Trying not to get glue all over our hands. We're going to center this as best as we can. Make sure we put a piece of scrap paper down underneath. And then just give it a good squish. That's right, I said squish. Oh, it's been one of those days. Okay, so now the back is a little bit more secure. Everything has been glued down. It should be good to go. So I have a piece of cardstock here that measures, where's my measure? That measures 5.5 by 4 1/4, I believe. I think this is just a piece of 8.5 by 11 that I cut in half. Could be wrong. For my card base, which way is the card open? There we go. So you can put it on either way. And I think I'm just going to, let's see, I don't have too many top folding or side folding cards, so we're going to do that. Let's grab our, let's see, what pop dots do I have? Okay, I'm going to use our my Stampin' Up! Ones. They're the last ones I have. I'm going to get rid of these. They drive me a little bit batty. And we are going to make sure we get the corners. Especially right where the two pieces meet. I usually don't go too close to the edge because then you can see the pop dots, but in this case I want to make sure that they get covered. So I'm using the pointed part of the hexagon, and then we're just going to fill it in with a crazy amount, but I have quite, I have quite a few pop dots lying around, and since this is thick, again, I'm not planning to send this out to anyone, but you never know. Just going to go ahead and, oops, that's not a pop dot, that was just a cover. That looks good. Okay, now we're going to have all these little so like I've said in a previous video, should have been the one right before this one, I am planning a baby shower for a very good friend of mine. She's having her second baby, and they've had a extremely hard time getting to the second baby. They've had a couple of miscarriages, and they were actually in the process of adopting, or getting the process of adopting started when they found out. So I told her I would be happy to plan her baby shower for her if she wanted, since they've moved twice now because they came back. But they had gotten rid of all the stuff after the last miscarriage, so they didn't have anything. So, so this will be my last card for a little while because I'm going to be working on baby shower stuff. So I'm going to be posting that stuff so that you can see the other side of what I like to do. I have been planning that, I've been preparing for quite a while, so I just wanted to give you the heads up that the next stuff you'll see will all be baby shower related, most likely. So, anyways, okay, so we went ahead and we popped that up. Now I have some clear gems here. I think I'll use the clear gems. We use, let's see, too big. I think we'll use the medium-sized ones. I got these for free from an order that I just received that I will be sharing in a haul video, but it won't be until April because I will be going, crossing my fingers, to a scrapbook convention here in Portland very soon. So, well, not very soon, but in April, so I figured I'd just hold off my haul until then. Alright, so we'll put one there. And one a little bit higher up there. This will kind of cover up that oops, but give it just a little bit something extra. And you know what? Let's take one of the tinier ones, I think. I love getting stuff on the clear because then you can kind of play around with it. Do I like doing that? No. Do I want it in the other corner? Don't know. And I'd ask you, but by the time you see this, I will have done it. Let's see. Is this all still in frame? Okay, good. No, I think we'll just leave it with the two. Yeah. And then we're just going to go ahead and leave the inside blank. It's just a fun little simple, I suppose this could even be used anytime you wanted, but a fun little card that I saw on Pinterest and I thought, let's give it a shot. Sure did. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day and a great weekend. I know I am. My hubby's got 3 days off and, well, I'd be excited that my oldest had 3 days off, but since she's only had 3 days of school so far, it really isn't that exciting. Because they just got back from having 2 snow days. So, but I know we're going to have a great weekend. So I hope you do too. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for joining me. Excuse me. Happy crafting.